For 900 years, the galaxy knew peace. Not a fragile peace, not a forced peace. A real one. No great wars. No burning worlds. No fleets crashing into each other across the stars. Generations were born, lived, and died without ever seeing war. Many species believed war was an old mistake of history, something childish civilizations once did before they became civilized. The Galactic Council made sure of that. Their laws were strict, their fleets were massive, and their unity was absolute, or so they believed. On the day everything changed, the Grand Council chamber was full. Delegates from thousands of species filled the massive circular hall. Tall ones, short ones, creatures of metal, flesh, and light, all watching the center platform. At the center stood a single human. She was calm. That alone confused many of them. Humans were young compared to the ancient races. They had joined the galactic community late. They had no long empire, no ancient legends written in starlight. To most of the galaxy, humans were average, too emotional, too loud, too unpredictable. And yet they had survived. The human representative stood with her hands folded behind her back, wearing a simple white uniform. No heavy armor, no visible weapons, no fear on her face. The high speaker of the council floated forward, his voice echoing through the chamber. By the authority of the Galactic Council, he announced, the age of patience has ended. A low murmur spread across the hall. The high speaker continued, humanity has violated trust, expanded without permission, developed weapons beyond agreement. Screens lit up around the chamber, showing images of human ships, human colonies, and human research stations hidden deep in space. The galaxy had been watching. For the safety of all, the high speaker said, the council declares war on the human systems. Silence. Absolute silence. This was the moment every species had imagined, the moment when humans would panic. Some expected shouting. Others expected begging. Many expected threats. The human did none of that. She smiled. Not a nervous smile. Not a forced one. A real smile. Several alien delegates shifted uncomfortably. The high speaker frowned. Do you understand what this means, human? The human nodded slowly. Yes, she said. Her voice was calm, clear, and steady. You are choosing war. A few council members laughed softly. Choosing, one alien general said. You are in no position to speak a choice. The human tilted her head slightly. Are we? More laughter followed. From the galaxy's view, the outcome was obvious. The council controlled thousands of fleets. Humanity controlled a few dozen systems. The numbers alone made the war laughable. You will surrender your military, the high speaker said. Your fleets will stand down. Your weapons will be sealed. The human listened patiently. Then she asked a single question. Is this declaration final? The high speaker paused. It is. The human nodded once and tapped a small device on her wrist. Somewhere far away, alarms began to ring. Not in human space. In alien space, a junior officer rushed into the chamber, panic clear in his movements. He whispered urgently to one of the fleet commanders. The commander's skin changed color. Another officer rushed in, then another, across the chamber. Council members began checking their displays. Confusion spread like a sickness. What is happening? The high speaker demanded. The human did not answer. Instead, large holographic screens around the chamber flickered to life. They showed galactic maps. Hundreds of tiny lights appeared. Then thousands. Then tens of thousands. They were human ships. Not gathering. Not forming. Already there. Positioned near key trade routes. Near major shipyards. Near council worlds. Impossible. Humans were not supposed to have that many ships. They were not supposed to move that fast. They were not supposed to hide fleets in plain sight. One alien admiral whispered. They were already deployed. The human finally spoke again. You waited 900 years, she said calmly. So did we. The high speaker tried to regain control. This changes nothing. You are still outnumbered. The human smiled again. True, she said. We are outnumbered. She looked around the chamber, meeting alien eyes one by one. But we are not unprepared. More reports flooded in, sensors failing, communications jammed, entire fleets unable to power weapons. No shots fired, no explosions, just silence. Fear crept into the chamber. The humans stepped back from the platform. "This meeting is over," she said politely. "You declared war." She paused at the exit and added one final sentence. "We just didn't take it seriously." The doors closed behind her, and for the first time in 900 years, the galaxy realized it might have made the worst mistake in its history. After the human left the Grand Council chamber, silence stayed behind. No one spoke. The massive hall that once felt powerful now felt small. Council members looked at one another, confused and unsettled. The war declaration was supposed to be a moment of strength. Instead, it felt like the beginning of something they did not understand. The High Speaker was the first to move. "Begin Phase 1, he ordered. His voice was firm, but not as confident as before. Across the galaxy, ancient war protocols awakened. Shipyards long used for trade began converting to war production. Fleets that had not moved in centuries powered up their engines. The galaxy was ready for war. Or so it believed. In the command center of the first Allied fleet, alien admirals gathered around glowing screens. They studied human space with confidence. "Humans are emotional," one commander said. "They smile now because they are afraid." Another nodded. "They lived too long in peace. They forgot how real war feels." The reports about human ships already in position were strange, but not alarming. The galaxy had seen tricks before. Deception was common in war. "Let them hide," the fleet commander said. "They will show themselves soon enough." The first target was a small human border system. Not important, not heavily defended. A message would be sent. The Allied fleet jumped into the system together. Thousands of ships filled the stars. But they found nothing. No defense fleet. No weapons platforms. No human warships. Only empty space and silent planets. "Scans?" the commander asked. "Clear," an officer replied. "No military presence." The commander smiled. They ran. The fleet advanced deeper into the system. That was when the lights went out. Every display flickered. Communications died. Sensors went blind. "Report!" the commander shouted. No answer came. Then, one by one, Allied ships began to drift. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Just powerless. A calm human voice filled the bridge of the flagship. "This is a warning," it said. The commander froze. "How are they speaking to us?" An officer whispered. The human voice continued. "We have not fired. We have not attacked. You are free to leave." A pause. "But next time, we will not be this polite." The message ended. Slowly, power returned to the alien ships. Systems rebooted. Weapons came back online. But the damage was already done. The fleet retreated. No celebration. No victory. Only fear. Back at the Galactic Council, reports flooded in. Similar events were happening everywhere. Human border systems were empty. Human fleets were unseen. And yet, Allied ships were being stopped without a single shot fired. "How?" a council member demanded. "How are they doing this?" No one answered. The galaxy had made a simple mistake. They judged humans by what they showed. Humans had never shown their true strength. Long before joining the Galactic Council, humans had lived on a dangerous world. Storms, earthquakes, predators, disease, war. Human history was filled with conflict. They fought themselves long before they ever met aliens. Peace did not make humans comfortable. It made them cautious. While the galaxy celebrated the long peace, humans prepared for its end. In hidden systems, human fleets trained nonstop. War simulations ran day and night. Artificial enemies stronger than any real species were created just to challenge human minds. To humans, war was not chaos. It was a problem to be solved. A human admiral once said, "Hope is not a plan." That belief shaped everything. Back in alien space, a captured human ship was brought into a research station. Scientists examined it carefully. There were no obvious superweapons, no massive cannons. Instead, they found layers of redundancy. backup systems inside backup systems. Software designed to adapt, learn, and attack weaknesses. Human ships were not built to win quickly. They were built to survive forever. An alien scientist whispered, "They expect to lose and keep fighting." That realization spread fear faster than any weapon. Meanwhile, human command remained calm. Admirals watched reports with quiet focus. No cheering, no anger. "This is going as predicted," one commander said. "They took the bait," another replied. Humanity had never believed the galaxy would keep peace forever. They only wondered when it would break. Now they had their answer. Back in the council chamber, the High Speaker stared at the star map. Human lights blinked calmly across the galaxy. "They are everywhere," he whispered. A council elder spoke softly. "We thought peace made them weak." The High Speaker closed his eyes. "No," he said, "peace made them ready." And somewhere in human space, a single order was given. Phase 2. The galaxy still believed the war had just begun. Humanity knew better. For them, this war had been planned for 900 years. The galaxy called it the first offensive. To the Galactic Council, this was supposed to be the moment when humans finally understood fear, when their calm smiles would disappear, when they would beg for peace. Instead, it became the first lesson. The Allied war fleet gathered near the Oran Passage, a massive hyperspace route connecting dozens of core worlds. If the fleet controlled it, human trade and movement would be cut in half. More than 20,000 alien warships waited in formation. Old empires, new powers, united. "This will end the illusion," the fleet commander said. "Humans cannot hide forever." The order was given. The fleet jumped. Space twisted. Light bent. And then they arrived. The Oran Passage was empty. No human fleets. No defenses. No mines. Only the quiet glow of distant stars. Some commanders relaxed. "Scans?" the commander asked. "Clear," an officer replied. "No human activity detected." The commander raised a clawed hand. "Advance slowly." The fleet moved forward. That was when space itself seemed to change. The stars dimmed, not slowly, instantly. Every sensor screamed at once. Unknown energy spike. Navigation failure. Gravity distortion detected. Ships began to drift out of formation. Then the first ship vanished. No explosion. No warning. One moment it was there. The next moment, empty space. "Where did it go?" someone shouted. Another ship vanished. Then another. Panic spread through the fleet. Weapons locked on nothing. Shields flared against invisible pressure. A human voice echoed through every channel. Calm, clear, unafraid. "Welcome to the Oran Passage," the voice said. "You should not have come here." A massive structure appeared in space. Not a ship, not a station. A web. A vast network of energy lines stretched across the passage, bending space and time around it. Human technology, hidden so well that no one had ever detected it. The web tightened. Entire ships were pulled off course, trapped in gravity wells they could not escape. "This is impossible," the commander shouted. "Destroy it." Weapons fired. Nothing happened. Human technology did not rely on shields alone. It rewrote the rules around it. The human voice spoke again. "You studied war as history," it said. "We studied it as survival." One by one, Allied ships lost power. Some were trapped. Others were forced out of hyperspace, scattered across empty systems. The battle ended without a single human ship being seen. Across the galaxy, news spread fast. The first Allied fleet had been stopped. Not defeated. Stopped. Back at the Galactic Council. Fear replaced confidence. "How many ships did we lose?" a council member asked. "None destroyed," an officer replied. "But thousands disabled. Hundreds missing." The room filled with uneasy silence. "They could have killed us," another whispered. "Yes," the High Speaker said slowly. "And they chose not to." That was worse. In human command space, admirals watched the same data. Minimal engagement, one officer reported. No casualties. "Good," the human admiral replied. They needed to see it. "To see what?" someone asked. That this is not a war of strength, the admiral said. It is a war of understanding. Human commanders had learned long ago that destroying an enemy was easy. Breaking their confidence was harder and more effective. Captured alien officers were brought aboard human ships. They expected anger, hatred, revenge. They found none. Humans treated them professionally. Food, medical care, clear rules. One alien captain finally asked the question that haunted them all. Why not destroy us? The human officer looked at him calmly. Because you are not the threat, she said. Your thinking is... The alien did not understand. Yet, back in alien space, panic grew. Fleets hesitated. Commanders argued. Orders conflicted. The galaxy had never faced an enemy like this. Humans did not rush. They did not boast. They did not threaten. They waited. Every hour without human aggression made the situation worse. The galaxy expected rage. Instead, they faced control. The High Speaker called an emergency session. We underestimated them, he admitted. But the war is not lost. An ancient council elder spoke slowly. No, he said, but our certainty is... A new report appeared on the center display. Human fleets were repositioning, not toward alien worlds. Around them, the galaxy was being surrounded without realizing it. Humanity was not fighting the war the galaxy expected. They were shaping it. And somewhere deep in human space, a quiet message was sent. Phase 3 ready. The galaxy still believed it could win. Humanity already knew the outcome. The galaxy did not sleep anymore. Across hundreds of worlds, leaders stayed awake, staring at screens filled with human movements. Fleets shifted quietly. Supply lines changed direction. Communication routes were altered without warning. And still, the humans did not attack. That silence was worse than war. The Galactic Council ordered a full investigation into humanity's past. Not the public records. Not the friendly speeches. Everything. Hidden archives were opened. Long-forgotten data cores were pulled from deep storage. Artificial minds were tasked with studying every detail of human history. What they found shook the galaxy. Humanity's early history was not peaceful. They fought wars before they left their home planet. Long, brutal wars against themselves. Wars where cities burned, where entire generations were lost. Most species erased such memories. Humans did not. They recorded everything. Every failure. Every mistake. Every terrible cost. One alien historian whispered, they never forgot how bad it can get. The deeper the investigation went, the worse it became. During the early days of galactic peace, when other species dismantled weapons, humans built underground facilities, not for attack, for simulation. Entire star systems existed only in virtual space. Humans ran wars that lasted centuries inside hours. They tested what would happen if they lost worlds, if leaders died, if hope collapsed, and then they trained again. Human soldiers were raised with one belief: peace is temporary. One captured human officer explained it simply. We don't prepare because we want war, he said. We prepare because we don't trust forever. That idea terrified the galaxy. In a secured human facility, alien observers were allowed to watch one of these simulations. What they saw broke something inside them. Human fleets lost battles on purpose. Over and over. They studied failure more than victory. They learned how to fight while outnumbered. How to fight while surrounded. How to fight when nothing went right. Humans planned for losing everything. An alien general asked quietly, why would anyone prepare like this? The human answer was calm. Because one day, he said, you wake up and peace is gone. The galaxy realized then that humans were not reacting to the war. They were executing a plan. Back at the council, fear turned into doubt. What if we stop now? One member asked. What if we apologize? The High Speaker remained silent. Another council elder spoke. Would you trust us, he asked, if you were them? No one answered, because they knew the truth. They would not. Meanwhile, human fleets continued their slow movements. They avoided civilian worlds. They avoided destruction. Every action was controlled. Alien commanders could not understand it. Why don't they strike? One shouted. They could end this. A human analyst explained it to a captured officer. Because ending you is easy, she said. Teaching you is harder. Humanity was not trying to win quickly. They were trying to change how the galaxy thought. A new report reached the council. Human systems had activated something called the continuity network. No one knew what it was. Soon, they learned, across the galaxy, alien military systems began to fail in small ways. Not all at once. Not enough to panic. Navigation delays. Targeting errors. Supply miscalculations. Tiny problems. Human cyber warfare was not loud. It was patient. It weakened trust in command. Fleet officers blamed each other. Leaders questioned reports. Orders were delayed. War slowed. And in war, slowing down was deadly. An alien admiral slammed his claw against a console. They're inside our thinking. He was right. Humans studied psychology as deeply as weapons. They understood fear, pride, and hesitation. They knew that the galaxy believed itself superior. And they used that belief against it. One human strategist said it best. They think peace made them wise. It made them lazy. The galaxy had lived too long without consequences. Humans had never stopped expecting them. As pressure grew, the council made a dangerous decision. They authorized full force. No more restraint. No more waiting. Total war. The order spread fast. Human sensors detected it instantly. In human command, no one panicked. A senior admiral nodded. They've reached the breaking point. Is Phase 4 ready? Another asked. Yes, came the reply. The admiral looked at the star map. This is where they finally understand, she said. Back in the council chamber, alarms blared. A new human message arrived, broadcast to every major system. The human representative appeared on screen. Calm, composed. You are about to make a second mistake, she said. The first was declaring war. The high speaker demanded, What is the second? The human met his eyes. Believing you still control it. The transmission ended. Across the galaxy, something shifted. Not an attack. A realization. This war was never about territory. It was about whether the galaxy deserved peace at all. And humans were about to decide. The order for total war spread across the galaxy like fire. For the first time in 900 years, there were no limits. Alien fleets received permission to strike anywhere. Human worlds, human stations, human supply lines. Nothing was off limits. Many commanders felt relief. Finally, real war. Finally, action. They believed humans had delayed because they were unsure. They were wrong. The moment the order was given, human systems changed state. Across human space, a single word appeared on command screens. Execution. Human fleets did not rush forward. They locked everything down. Trade routes closed. Civilian traffic vanished. Human colonies went dark, not from fear, but from preparation. Shields activated. Hidden systems woke up. Humanity did not fight like an empire. They fought like a species that had survived extinction many times. The first alien strike never reached its target. Entire missile waves lost guidance mid-flight. Fighter wings found their engines locked by systems they did not understand. Command ships suddenly received false orders, sending fleets in opposite directions. Chaos exploded. This is impossible, an alien commander shouted. We authorize full access. That was the problem. Human cyber units had been waiting for that authorization. The moment alien safeguards were removed, humans stepped in, not loudly, cleanly. Across the galaxy, military networks were seized, not destroyed. Seized. Human intelligence did not shut fleets down at once. That would be obvious. Instead, they changed small things. Fuel numbers off by a few percent. Coordinates slightly wrong. Timing delayed by seconds. Battles were lost before they began. Alien commanders blamed each other. Some believed traitors were everywhere. Others believed ancient systems were failing. Trust collapsed. In one major system, 3 allied fleets fired on each other by mistake. Thousands died without seeing a single human ship. That was when fear became terror. The Galactic Council tried to regain control, but it was too late. Their orders arrived late, or not at all. Their authority meant nothing. Human fleets finally appeared, not everywhere, only where needed. They arrived calmly, surrounding key military centers, shipyards, command stations, fleet hubs. Human weapons powered up and stopped. A human transmission echoed across those systems. "This is a control zone," the voice said. "Power down and you will not be harmed." Some resisted. They lasted minutes. Human weapons did not destroy ships. They erased weapon systems. Fleets were left drifting helpless, surrounded by silent human vessels. The galaxy watched in horror. This was not war. This was disassembly. A captured alien admiral was brought before a human commander. "You could have ended us," he said bitterly. "Why didn't you?" The human commander looked tired. "Because if we end you," she said, "someone else will take your place." She leaned closer. "But if we end the idea that you can threaten us, that lasts longer." Across the galaxy, news spread. Humanity controlled hyperspace gates. Humanity controlled fleet coordination. Humanity controlled the flow of war. The Council finally sent a message, not a threat, a request. They asked for talks. Again, this time, there was no human laughter, only silence. Then a response came. A single location was given, neutral space, the same council chamber. When the human delegation arrived, they were not armed heavily. They did not arrive with massive fleets. They arrived with confidence. The High Speaker looked older, smaller. "You have won," he said. The human representative shook her head. "No," she replied. "We stopped." Confusion filled the room. "You broke the peace," she continued. "We showed you what that costs." She looked around the chamber. "But this is not victory. Victory would be easy." She paused. "This is restraint." The council elders understood then. Humans were not proving strength. They were proving control. The human representative placed a data core on the table. "These are new terms," she said. "No expansion without consent. No secret fleets. No threats disguised as peacekeeping." "And if we refuse?" someone asked quietly. The human did not raise her voice. "Then we finish what you started." The chamber fell silent. The galaxy had never faced a species that could fight like this. Not with anger, but with patience. The council voted. Unanimous. The war ended. Officially, across the galaxy, fleets stood down. Weapons powered down. Systems slowly returned to normal. But nothing felt the same. The myth of eternal peace was gone. In its place was something else. Respect, fear, understanding. As the human delegation left the chamber, the High Speaker watched them go. "They didn't conquer us," he whispered. An elder replied softly. "No," he said, "they corrected us." And far away, in human space, commanders reviewed the final reports. No celebrations, no cheers, just quiet relief. One officer asked, "Do you think they learned?" The admiral looked at the stars. "For now," she said, "because humans knew something the galaxy was still learning. Peace is not the absence of war. It is the presence of readiness." The war was over. On paper, it ended quietly. No great final battle. No burning capitals. No worlds reduced to ash. But the galaxy had changed forever. In the weeks after the ceasefire, alien fleets returned to their systems slowly, cautiously. Ships that once moved with pride now moved with care. Commanders double-checked every order. Leaders spoke softly in public chambers that once echoed with confidence. The Galactic Council still existed, but it no longer felt powerful. Humanity had not taken seats of control. They had not demanded territory. They had not rewritten borders. That confused everyone. Many expected humans to rule. They did not. Instead, humans watched. Human fleets stayed positioned near key regions, not threatening, not hidden, just visible enough to be remembered. A quiet reminder. Across the galaxy, schools rewrote history lessons. The 900-year peace was no longer called a golden age. It was now called the long warning. Alien historians studied the war carefully. They searched for the moment everything went wrong. Some said it was the declaration of war. Others said it was underestimating humans. But the oldest thinkers found a deeper truth. The galaxy believed peace meant safety. Humans believed peace meant time. Time to prepare. Time to learn. Time to survive what others could not imagine. A young alien diplomat once asked a human official, "Why didn't you take control when you could?" The human smiled gently. "Because control makes you lazy," he said, "and lazy gets you killed." That answer spread quietly across the stars. Humanity returned to normal life faster than anyone expected. Trade reopened. Civilian ships flew again. Colonies relit their skies. From the outside, it looked like humans had already forgotten the war. They had not. In human space, training never stopped. Simulations continued. Fleets practiced impossible scenarios. Humans did not prepare because they feared the galaxy. They prepared because they feared complacency. A year after the war, the Galactic Council requested a joint peace summit. This time, no weapons were brought. No fleets waited nearby. Only words. The High Speaker, older and slower now, addressed the gathering. "For 900 years, he said, we believed war was beneath us." He looked directly at the human delegates. "We were wrong." He bowed, not deeply, but enough. The galaxy watched in shock. The human representative did not bow back. She simply nodded. "Peace is not a trophy," she said calmly. "It's a responsibility." The summit ended with new agreements. Real ones, not based on trust alone, but on balance. The galaxy learned something painful but necessary. Peace without strength is hope. Strength without restraint is destruction. Humans had mastered both. Far from council halls, on a distant alien world, a child looked up at the night sky. Their teacher pointed at a small blue star. "That," the teacher said, "is human space." The child asked, "Are they dangerous?" The teacher thought carefully. "They are careful," he replied, "and that is more dangerous." Back in human territory, a senior admiral stood on a command deck, watching stars pass slowly. An officer approached her. "Long-range scans are clear," he said. "No unusual fleet movement." The admiral nodded. "Good." The officer hesitated. "Do you think they'll try again?" The admiral did not answer immediately. Humans had learned never to trust forever. Finally, she said, "Every species tests boundaries." She looked at the stars. "But now," she added, "they know where ours are." Years passed. The galaxy grew cautious. Disputes were solved with words instead of fleets. When tensions rose, memories of the human response kept them in check. The humans never needed to threaten again. Their restraint had spoken louder than any weapon. In quiet archives across the galaxy, one sentence was added to historical records. The war ended not because humanity was cruel, but because it was prepared to be. And in human history books, the war received a short description. The moment the galaxy learned that peace survives only when someone is ready to defend it. Humanity did not celebrate the war. They did not sing about it. They did not boast. Because to them, it was never about victory. It was about survival. And survival, humans knew better than anyone else, was earned long before the first shot was ever fired.